Hi, my name is Sky, and this is this is kind of my input on illegal immigration, and what should be done with all the Mexicans in the nation. I may be as white as can be, but I'm from a predominantly Hispanic area, like 20 miles from the border of Mexico, and out where I live, it's mostly desert. But where there's not desert, where water's flowing, it's mostly fields, and we get a lot of migrant labor. A lot of guys who live on the Mexican side of the border, but then they hop on buses and go out at like 3 o'clock in the morning or so to fields and stay there all day picking, fruit and other produce. They may get a siesta during the middle part of the day because down where I live, we have 120-degree summer weather. It's about it's over 100 now. It's probably 110 now, the highs, and it's just going to get hotter. And it's going to stay that hot, for a long period of time, for several months is what I mean. And they work those jobs. They take a little rest during the middle of the hottest part of the day. Then during the afternoon, they pick a little bit more, and then they hop back on the bus and they go back to little shacks and shanty towns. They're paid at about minimum wage, if they're lucky, and probably in some cases less, because imagine that they have to pay for certain things as well, just to be brought up there to the place they're working at, and these people are exposed to chemicals, and they don't have insurance and coverage and benefits and this and that. And it's like really just on the extremes of society. And these are the people that pick the food of Southern California, even of the whole southwestern United States. They provide the fruit and produce that people enjoy and can get at cheap prices. Now, in the places that it's desert, they will regularly find dead bodies from people trying to walk across. And in fact, there was there's people who try to swim through a canal. It's called the All-American Canal, and they drown in there. People who try to walk across, they die of dehydration. They're out in the middle of the desert. They don't know exactly where they're going, and they don't carry enough water with them, and they don't understand. And people that try to sneak across in containers and vehicles and this and that. And they find dead bodies in all three of those areas. Now, that's very poignant to me because people want to come into this country so badly that they're willing to risk their lives. They're willing to take the chance of dying to come to this country for a better life for themselves and their families. Now, we're going to tell these people, sorry, we don't want you in our country. That's the thing that I think is not brought up and mentioned enough, is that, there's no gate there, there's no border, but the people are walking across, they're sneaking across, or they pay coyotes, which sometimes bring them across, but maybe they don't. Slave labor, heck, watch The Shield. They show how people are brought across and they're locked into containers and they're forced to work at gunpoint. And then when they start dying, they just dump the bodies. It's shocking to me that so many people would just have such a negative opinion towards these immigrants, these people who want to come into America and make a better life for themselves. And it's you don't realize and understand just how corrupt Mexico is, how bad it is in Mexico. Tijuana, right across the border from San Diego, there are so many problems with the cops there that they literally took away all the firearms from the police officers to test them for ballistics because of people being killed, and they assumed, and it's pretty much known, a number of cops are working for cartels and drug families. That's the kind of environment that people there live in. Times that my family has gone down to Mexico, we've had run-ins with cops, and it's gotten better. They're better at treating tourists better, but my dad can tell stories of like when I was born and before of people just like they were in a camp, and literally, their camp they're in got ransacked by a bunch of guys without shirts on. Some of them carrying machetes. And it's like, are these guys federales? Are they troops or cops or what? You almost we're unsure who what exactly they were. Now, as for what is the solution, I think if anything, I've heard in New Mexico, they allow the undocumented immigrants in, but they document them. And I mean that's I just said that wrong, but what I'm saying is that they say, hey, if you want to come into our state, fine. You just have to to register, and it has to be understood that this is who you are. If and if you don't have a card proving who you are, that's when we'll kick you out. But otherwise, it's fine. And to me, that I think is a good way to start, because if you at least talk to people and know what's going on with them, you can figure out how to tax businesses. You can figure out how to get money. If people are complaining like, oh, these people are using our services, well, let's figure out a way to tax them. And guess what? You can't tax people who are not part of the system, who are not on the radar. And also, guess what? We're encouraging all these businesses to hire illegal, immigrants by, basically, these businesses, to stay competitive, they have to keep their prices low. And to keep their prices low, they have to hire, dirt poor laborers. So, where is this American ideal of equality and the ability to work and have a happy income and lifestyle? And here we're going to deny it to people. So I mean that's just one of the things I'm kind of noticing and like wondering about, like, why is it this way? And I also hear a lot of fear coming out of people's words and the way they describe and talk about immigration. And I kind of wonder why. Why is there this fear? Why is there this this sort of weight placed upon these Mexicans and other Latin American people who want come to America and want something better for themselves? I mean, it's just like they want to live in a nice, clean place where they don't have to be afraid of of having a bribe, of being thrown into jail for whatever reason. They like a place where the most firearms you see on a daily basis might be a cop driving around. You might see a cop walking around, and you see this little pistol on the side. That's as most as a lot of people see. If at that. And countries these people come from, the cops got Uzis, or the troops got Uzis and rifles, M16s, AK-47s. It's like I would rather live in America than those places. So it's just different things I'm thinking about, and that I kind of wonder, like, why are people so adamant about kicking these people out? Let's just figure out a way to incorporate people. Let's make them documented immigrants. Let's make them, let's say, look, we're not going to kick you guys out. We're not going to force you people to ship, yourselves home. But for the time being, let's figure out how many of you people there are, and that sort of thing.